Buongiorno everybody, welcome back to my kitchen. This is Cooking Italian with Joe, and I'm in a little bit of a sentimental mood today, so I thought I wanted to do a recipe that's nostalgic, not only to me personally, but to I think many Italians or people that grew up in an Italian household, and that's roasted peppers. So it was something that my family did often. Many years ago, my father would do it right down in the restaurant, and there's a lot of different ways to do it. And you can use the green peppers, the orange peppers, the red peppers, and you can use roasted vegetables, which we just did another video on. But we've got an assortment here of some red peppers and some orange peppers, which are great. They're vibrant. I love the color of them. And I'm going to show you how to roast them, and then we want to prep them. Most families will put them in a olive oil kind of bath, if you will, and marinate them in olive oil, which we're going to do. So we got olive oil, we've got salt, we've got pepper. Don't forget, always and forever, the garlic. And I'm going to show you how to prep these first. So I've got basically just an assortment here in a couple of bowls. And what we want to start with is a couple of pans, and we want to get the oven. We want to get the oven going. So I've got the oven cranking at over 400 degrees. Now, I've done them here on a grill before, so you can hit the grill going, and you can get that really hot and blister the outside. Commonly in the summer, you can do them on a grill and put them in the grill, obviously, and then just kind of watch them, turn them periodically. But what we're trying to do is we want to peel the skin off the pepper. Aren't these beautiful? I mean, just gorgeous, aren't they? Isn't it amazing? It just grows out of the ground. I always say that, but awesome. Bobby Darin's going, by the way, so that definitely puts a little love to my heart right there. But what we've got here is you've got the pepper, and then you've got the meat of the pepper, and then obviously the seeds and so forth. So what we want to do is we want to get the pepper, the skin, and the meat cooked to such a degree, but we don't want to burn the meat, right? So what you're going to do is I'm going to rinse these off. We're going to get them wet. We don't even care that there's a little water on there. That's a good thing. We're going to lay them across the racks. So we're going to put them right in the oven. You can put them right on the rack if you want. And then we're going to leave them in there in about 30 minutes, give or take. You'll notice the green peppers sometimes are a little hardier, so sometimes they take a little bit longer. And then what we're going to do is about every 10 minutes, just turn them. Some ovens are different than others, so sometimes you get more heat from the bottom, sometimes you get more heat from the top, and what have you. But we want to turn them periodically, and what we're trying to do is blister them. And if you remember from our roasting video, essentially what you want to do is you want to roast the pepper so the meat will cook, the sugars in the meat will cook, the fibers will break down a little bit, and then the skin will be really easy to take off. When we're done in the oven, and I'm going to show you how to do that, we're going to pull the peppers out, we're going to put them in a bowl. So in this case we've got a couple of bowls. Now my grandmother used to use the brown paper bag, which is traditional, which is great. You can use a bowl with saran wrap, which is what we're going to do, because we've got a lot of peppers. So we're going to take a bowl, you're going to put the peppers in there immediately when they come out. And then you're going to seal it up, in this case with some plastic wrap, okay? And what you're going to do is let them set in there a good half hour. And what you're letting them do is as they cool, they're going to give off moisture. And when they give off moisture, it'll help the skins peel, blister more, and it'll make it a lot easier to pull the skins off. And then we're going to put them in a bowl. I'm going to show you how to make some marinade. Oh my God, they're great. What's great about peppers is, the roasted peppers, is any table traditional, any table you go to Italy with, they're always going to have peppers on it. It's almost like a side accent to any meal. Sometimes you'll see some families will put some hot pepper flake and kind of spice them up a little bit. You can put that off to the side. Sometimes when you're cooking, you can throw the peppers right in your dish just to add a little flavor. So it's something that you'll see in most traditional Italian households. They'll always have some pepper, or roasted pepper somewhere, either in the fridge or off to the side, so it's great. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just rinse them off and with some cool water. So just rinse them off a little bit, and you're going to leave, as I said, you're going to leave the water on, okay? Because that water is going to help with the whole process. And there's going to get some water on the tray. Don't even worry about it. Snacking cold flaying. It's a great time to get the peppers going with that on a beautiful weekend. And I just doing this here just for a few moments. Just cleaning them brings me right back to my dad's restaurant where my father and I would sit there and work, and but we had fun. My father had a little radio up in the corner, and he'd get playing music or talk radio. We got a little sticker on that one. And what my father did for me and the kids, which is the same thing his father did, is he had a soap box. Now, when I was a kid, it was a long time ago, so the soda boxes were wood. So my father made these little boxes, and he nailed a couple together so my sisters had enough height, and he put us up next to one of the counters, and it was great. My mother would come down and help out. We would prep food for the restaurant. Back then, the restaurant was a very strong Italian theme, so it had the fire brick and the checkered tablecloths and all the different items on the menu that my grandfather and grandmother put together with the recipe. So it's such a wonderful time. So I'm gonna just spread them, and like I said, don't worry about too much, because a lot of the stuff's gonna come off. So it's not even a big deal. Any of this stuff will just pop right off. So we're not really worried about any type of preparation. Now the oven is going, so you want to preheat the oven. Don't want to put anything, and that comes to your baking or your cooking. Don't put anything in the oven until it's preheated, so you know and you can judge your cooking time. In this case, what we're doing is we're getting these things hot. We want these puppies hot immediately, and you want to take advantage of it. So you don't want to put them in a cold oven and let it heat slowly. You want them to experience that heat right away. So I'm going to put them right in the oven, push them all the way to the back, and like I said, I'm going to let these guys go. And we're going to let them go for about 10 minutes. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a set of tongs, right? And I'm going to just turn them. So I'll pull them out with a pad, right? So be careful of your hands. One of the most common things you'll see is somebody with a burn across the top of their hand from the top rack as they reach in the second rack. It hurts. And there's no room for error at 400 degrees. I mean, you're going to cook your flesh instantly. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull those out. You're going to turn them, let them go another 10 minutes, turn them again, let them go another 10 minutes, and then so in that case you're about 30 minutes. And what you'll do is you'll start to feel, and I'll show you that on the video, but you'll start to feel the pepper drop. You'll start to feel those fibers start to cook inside. Those sugars are starting to cook, which is great. And you're going to have a really nice smell, at which point we're going to pull them out. We're going to immediately put them in those pots, seal them up. Life's going to be a lot easier for you because the skins come off a lot easier if you do it exactly right. All right, so I'll tune in with you guys in a few minutes when we start turning the peppers. Okay, we're getting close for the first rotation. Bobby Darin's playing Back the Knife. Great song. So the first kind of gut reaction you get is, oh my God, things are burning. You want to burn them. You're trying to burn the outside, because when you burn the outside, one, that's where you're really giving a nice cooking, if you will, of the sugar. And that's what gives you, like right now I can really smell it. Like I can smell that roast, which is awesome. So what we're going to do, remember I told you, watch that first one here, because that's where everybody burns themselves. You see how they're starting to brown? So a lot of people get nervous on that. Don't get nervous on it. Who cares? That's what I want. Now I'm going to turn it around, right? They're going to get a lot blacker than that. You want to get them black, because it's the black that's cooking the outside. You're roasting it. See how it's blistering? The skin's coming off right there. See how it's blistering it? That's what you want. So push that guy back in. Watch that top rack. Okay. Now this one didn't burn. This one didn't blacken so much, but that's all right. We'll still flip it. Oh, there you go. Beautiful. Oh, this is blackened on the other side. The other one was doing on top. This is beautiful. Look at, doesn't that look gorgeous? And I'll tell you the smells. You can actually smell the sugar. You know when you take like a marshmallow, right? It's got that sugar. It starts to blacken. How good it smells. That's essentially what's happening. So we flipped them once. We're going to do that at least 2 more times. And now, why is it important to keep flipping them? Because you want all the sides to be equally cooked. You want all the sides to be equally blackened. Because then what we're going to do, as I said, we're going to seal them up. We're going to leave them sealed for 30 minutes. And they're going to sweat. The skin's going to come off. You want to be spending the whole day. Now, I've watched other people use different techniques to roasting them. And, sometimes you can char them right on the flame. I'm not telling you not to do that. You could do them on the grill. But the other problem sometimes, what happens is, if you get them charred like that with the flame, what happens is it starts to get flakes of black, burned skin all over. Then you got to rinse them off. You don't really want to rinse them because you're adding too much water back to the pepper, and plus you're washing away some of the flavor. So this is a really nice way to do it, as long as you're watching. You got to be attentive. You got to You got to show love and you got to care for the pepper right now, okay? Even though you're burning them to death, okay? But that's the way to do it. 10 minutes, we'll flip them again. 10 more minutes, we'll flip them again. And then I'm going to show you how to add that olive oil. Oh my God, it's going to be delicious. So I'll talk to you guys in a couple minutes. You guys ready? I think we're looking at probably about 35 minutes, 40 minutes, okay? So we're going to open her up. And I'll tell you, you got to watch it. There's a lot of steam that comes out. You can burn yourself. But literally, the smell of that is unbelievable. They're going to fall. They're going to collapse. So the one worry you have, and on the bottom, we're really close. These are perfect. If you overcook them, what happens is then you end up cooking the pepper so much that it becomes mush. So you don't want to do that. So on the bottom, we're probably on the verge of that. The top was perfect, but they're going to be perfect. You hear Bobby Darin singing right now? Peppers peel best under the sounds of Bobby Darin. And you can feel the heat coming right off of there. So now what you're going to do is let them set 30 minutes. Now these are going to peel really well already, I can tell you right now. But what it does is just makes it really easy. Okay guys, welcome back. We've got Tony Bennett, The Good Life playing. Very appropriate song because this is a good life. We are smelling some beautifully roasted peppers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little olive oil in a dish. How much? Say I'm going to say that's a quarter. I'm going to put more in there in a little bit, and then I'm going to put about half of a teaspoon of salt. Okay. I'm going to put all of our garlic. Now I processed some garlic here for you ahead of time. All right. And so I'm going to put all those in there. Just put all that in there. Beautiful. Put that in the sink. And then I'm going to put some pepper. So you've got salt, pepper, fresh ground, and olive oil, right? I mean, just the smell of that. You know, the whole kitchen is filled with those beautiful, beautiful smells, right? And then you're going to stir that up. And that's going to be our base. I'm going to put more olive oil in there. But now what's going to happen is the garlic is going to give up its flavor, right? It's going to fuse its flavor to the olive oil. And then the peppers are going to go in there. And then you want to let it set overnight. I mean, minimally overnight. Though a few days is perfect. And then what happens, all those flavors kind of marry each other. And they're great. So here's what we got here. We got a pepper, right? Look at that. It's perfect. So you're going to take that pepper. And then simply you just cut it right in half. Okay? And then you're going to fillet it. So you're just going to open it up. Oh, that's a wet one there. That's good though. Good, okay? So don't worry about the water, that's fine. And then you're just going to scrape it. Because you want the seeds off, okay? That's perfect. Okay, now this is already coming off. I mean, you can already see that. Then you're going to turn it over, right? Watch this. See, look at that. Perfect. And just roast up. And then you see all that. Now this is a yellow one, so you can see it. And you can smell that. And my lovely camera lady, Melody, I'm sure you're smelling that. Is that correct, Melody?
I am.
Does that smell good? Awesome. And then you just scrape it right off. Now sometimes, again, it'll come off like that. The goal here is just to scrape it off. And some of them will be done, in this case, a little bit more than others, which is fine. Perfect. Look at that. Beautiful, right? And everybody thinks it's really hard, and it's not. Some of them, look at that. See, that one just came off perfect, right? This one did it. This little piece, that's good. I don't want to waste anything. I mean, you know, there's a lot of effort and time and energy that you're putting in cutting these up. But I can remember my grandmother would do them in a bag. And sometimes, you know, depending on you roasted them and the day, and but sometimes the bag would get wet, and you know, then everything would come out. So try to keep as much of it as you can. That's perfect, right? And then we're gonna flip it back over, right? And just want to make sure you got all your seeds off. And it's okay. I mean, you know, our house, it's okay if you got a seed or two, right? That's perfect. Got another one here. So traditionally, what you're going to do, and there's a couple more seeds. Traditionally, what you're going to do is you're going to julienne. So you're just going to slice them up, and they have such a beautiful smell. Remember I always talk about that, the sugars, right? Put them right in there. There you go. Oh my God, look how good that smells. And I like to cook the pepper a little bit more. I don't like them, if you will, like an al dente. Some people do, and that's okay. You know what? So then you don't cook the peppers much. But see, I like that roast on the outside. And then what you're going to do, you're going to stir that up. And oh my God, are you kidding me? That smells absolutely fantastic. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through all these. I'm going to fill them right up. Then I'm going to fill up this container. Wow, that's good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in the refrigerator. Like I said, I'm going to let it set for a day or two, and that is going to be just a beautiful accent to any meal, and you can add it to any flavor. I want to thank you guys for joining in with us. Hopefully I've made the idea of roasting peppers for you and your family not only simple and easy, but a great tradition that you can do with your kids or your relatives and so forth. And again, it's just something that you can put to the side that you've done together, and you can enjoy that meal with your friends and family. And that's what this is really all about. You know, one of the reasons I love doing these little videos and sharing a lot of what we do is so that we can actually share those moments, those memories with our family, those traditions. That's what makes life worth living, in my opinion. So, love to your soul. Have a great one. Arrivederci. I'll talk to you guys next week.